Well, here I am at CCNV, where President Obama plans to come out back to the DC Central Kitchen, and the security is being stepped up in and around the building. We have Secret Service in the building helping to guard things. We have stepped up security. We are expecting a visit from the president very soon. And security is not usually quite this tight at the building. We have officers both inside and outside. And see? So this is going to be a big day for the homeless community, but it's my understanding that Obama is actually not here about the CCNV shelter. He's actually here, or coming here I should say, to go directly to the kitchen. I'm not sure what he's going to talk about or what his focus is, but there's a lot of commotion here. Cars have been towed off of the block by the police, and the building has been staked out. And I'm going to just walk around the block here and show you some of the commotion that's taking place because of his visit, which will probably happen right around 11 o'clock. I've been told that the building will be on complete lockdown from the 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. So anyway, I'm gonna see if any of us will have an opportunity to get close and to say anything to him. Here is the police towing vehicle that is towing cars off of the block. And I should also point out that during Barack Obama's administration, that Congress did pass the HEART Act, that is the Homeless Emergency Assistance Rapid Transition to Housing. And that particular piece of legislation actually is designed to decrease homelessness, and it was handed off to HUD. And it's up to HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, to implement HEART. And if and when that ever gets implemented, what that means is that in order to get the funding, there's going to have to be a better way of getting people beyond homelessness. If agencies that get that money don't do a good enough job of getting people out of homelessness, they can't continue to get the funding. But here in DC, we have what's called low barrier shelter. Some of the shelters have a low barrier designation, which means you don't have to sign up for a program. They can't make you do anything to grow beyond homelessness. You can give a false name. You don't have to have ID. You can be high or drunk when you come in, long as you don't bring any substances into the shelter with you. You can be running from the law. They don't call the cops. You can be an illegal immigrant. They don't call immigration on you. And so you don't have any real requirements to do anything to better yourself. And if the HEART Act when the HEART Act gets implemented, then DC government may have to do away with this low barrier designation, and they may have to make everybody get into some sort of program. And I'm not sure if the president is going to make any reference to that, being that he is going to DC Central Kitchen, and that's who he's actually coming to visit. Some people are a little upset that he's not coming to speak about homelessness as a whole and to deal with the homeless issue, that he's just focused on the kitchen. But at any rate, I've yet to see any snipers on the roof. That's a common thing when the president comes near. There are snipers on top of the White House, but I don't see any snipers on any of the roofs around here. This is the roof of the CCNV shelter that I'm showing you, and I don't see them on any of the other roofs. I'm guessing I might have to wait another hour before the president actually shows up. But I see that they got the entire block staked out. This is a Secret Service vehicle. And we see some more Secret Service vehicles and marked police cars as well. I should say that DC has about 40 different police agencies, and that we do refer to this as a police state. And hey, what's up? So anyway, let me see what they're going to say to us as we pass by here, if anything.
All right. It says you're both going to have an agent.
And this actually is the alleyway that leads back toward the building where the shelter is and where DC Central Kitchen is. And I see a bunch of DC Central Kitchen employees standing outside. They might not show up very well on my iPod, but I do see a tent set up there. And here's our friendly little tow truck again. That black SUV is probably Secret Service. Maybe not. Doesn't look like they have it staked out very well on this side of the building. Although the tow truck is busy over here. The building in your view right now is actually the U.S. Department of Labor, and it is actually right across the road from one of the biggest homeless shelters in the country, if not the biggest. This entire building has 4 separate shelters in it, and it also has DC Central Kitchen, and it holds a maximum of 1,350 homeless people, about 1/5 of DC's homeless population. And I've actually blogged about the fact that it's ironic that the U.S. Department of Labor is on one side of D Street. One of the biggest homeless shelters in the country is here on the other side of D Street. And yet, the Department of Labor has not walked across the street so as to see what they can do to employ the 1,350 homeless people in this building. You know, it's such a short walk right across the street. You would think that they would make that walk, and homeless people sit on this low wall right in front of the U.S. Department of Labor. Actually, we're on the back side of their building. So we sit on the low wall on the back side of their building, and we're in the shelter right across the road, and yet they don't come out and see what they can do to get people hired. And in some cases, well, in the past anyway, they've had a policy of telling the homeless to get off of their walls, you know. And so here I am back on the front side of the CCNV shelter, and the stakeout continues. So I'm guessing that the vehicles that are parked here are either vehicles that have yet to be towed or they're Secret Service. Most of the unmarked Secret Service vehicles are black. There are some that aren't, but you always know them when they put their flashers on. And so now it's just a matter of wait and see. Just wait and see.
Pay no money, man.